Welcome back everyone to the channel. Today is a very dangerous day for my wallet, because for the very first time ever I'm attempting to drive an RC boat. And not just any boat, this is the insane Traxxas Spartan SR 6S. A machine that is apparently designed to turn electricity directly into speed, chaos and panic. Look at this thing. It honestly looks less like a toy and more like something that should require a boating license. Huge power, aggressive styling and enough speed to immediately make me regret every decision I made today. I think I've checked everything now. Batteries, steering, cooling, my remaining confidence. So it's finally time to head onto the water and find out what exactly I've gotten myself into this time. So here I am, standing near the water with a very expensive RC boat and absolutely zero experience. What could possibly go wrong? And just like you may have seen in one of my previous videos, we're back again at our newly discovered location. A nice little pond that slowly turns into a narrow water stream, assuming you actually manage to make it under the bridge in one piece. Alright, we're starting nice and easy on 4S first. Which is probably the smartest thing I've done all day, considering my RC boat experience is basically non-existent. No reason to immediately unleash full 6S chaos before I even know how this thing reacts on water. For now, the main objective is simple. Keep the boat floating, avoid crashing into nature and hopefully return home with all parts still attached. Driving an RC car is already challenging sometimes. Driving an RC boat is a completely different level of chaos. This thing doesn't just turn and stop whenever you want. It feels more like trying to control a high-speed missile that's sliding across ice while your brain desperately tries to keep up. Luckily, I figured out pretty quickly that you actually need speed to maneuver properly, which is slightly terrifying when you're still learning and the boat already looks fast enough to outrun common sense. But honestly, even on 4S, this boat is already feels seriously impressive. The speed, the stability, the way it slices through the water, I'm standing here enjoying every second of it. And now I'm also starting to wonder, if this is already this fast and exciting on 4S, what kind of absolute madness is waiting for me once I plug in the 6S battery? Here we are entering the narrow water stream, and it becomes very obvious that driving an RC boat actually requires some real experience. Every little steering correction suddenly feels incredibly important when there's almost no room left for mistakes. And then there's the water plants. Apparently the propeller absolutely loves collecting them. The moment grass or weeds get stuck in there, the boat instantly loses speed and handling, so you have to remove them right away. Which means my professional captain career is already off to a fantastic start. But I am slowly starting to realize that this narrow little water channel might not exactly be the ideal place to learn how to drive an RC boat. There's barely any room for mistakes, every turn feels stressful, and the bridge definitely isn't helping my confidence either. And here it is, the one thing I was worried about the entire time. When trying to pass under the bridge, I somehow managed to hit the exact pole holding the bridge up. Not a massive open space around it, no, that one pole, perfect aim. And as you're about to see, damage on my brand new boat. At this point, I'm honestly somewhere between laughing and crying inside. The 4S battery is already empty, which honestly happened a lot faster than expected. So now it's time to install the 6L battery, because apparently I still haven't learned my lesson yet. And while swapping batteries, I can finally inspect the damage to the hull properly. I quietly begin crying on the inside over my poor brand new boat. Of course, we're not going to let a little bit of damage stop the fun. As long as the boat isn't sinking, I'm still calling this a successful day. So it's time to keep driving, gain some experience, and hopefully avoid turning this thing into an actual submarine. But my very first impression, now that the boat is running on full 6S power, absolutely unbelievable. The difference compared to 4S is honestly insane. The acceleration becomes violent, the boat feels alive, and the moment you touch the throttle, it just launches across the water like a missile. At this point it also becomes painfully obvious that this pond is way too small for a boat like this. Before you even have time to think, the Spartan is already at the other side of the water asking for more space. Before we continue destroying my confidence as an RC boat captain, let's quickly talk about the technology behind this absolute water missile, the Traxxas Spartan SR. The Spartan SR is built around a massive deep V-ABS hull, specifically designed for stability at high speed and better control in rough water. At over 1 meter long, this thing isn't just fast, it has serious presence on the water. Power comes from the water-cooled Volinian 540 XL brushless motor combined with the VXL 6S Marine ESC. On full 6S power, the Spartan SR is capable of speeds over 80 km per hour, which honestly sounds slightly unreasonable for something I'm trying to control on my very first day. The boat also uses a direct drive flex cable system with an adjustable aluminium outdrive, helping transfer all that power efficiently to the propeller while keeping the drivetrain strong enough to survive the abuse. Traxxas even upgraded the newer SR version with a thicker flex shaft and improved propeller for better durability and performance. And probably the best feature for beginners like me, a self-lightening system. If the boat flips over, the hull fills a special chamber with water and automatically pulls itself back upright after a few seconds. Which is basically Traxxas admitting that they already know people like me. They are going to crash this thing the first run. On top of that, the Spartan SR includes Traxxas Stability Management, or TSM, which helps keep the boat stable and easier to control at high speed. because without electronics to helping me, this video probably would have ended after the first corner.
Dat is heerlijk. Ja.
And here is Mark, who apparently decided that simply driving an RC boat normally is far too boring. So naturally he's now attempting a backflip with his boat. I honestly did not expect to enjoy this RC boat this much, but wow, I am blown away by how much fun the Traxxas Spartan SR is to drive. The speed, the sound, the water spray, the way this thing flies across the pond, it just gives a completely different experience compared to RC cars. The moment the boat starts skipping across the water at full speed, you instantly understand why people get addicted to this hobby. And honestly, if you have water anywhere near you where you live and you still don't own an RC boat, you absolutely need to try one. This has been one of the most fun RC experiences I have had in a very long time. Yes, I already damaged the boat on day one. Yes, my heart broke a little bit when I saw the scratches. But even with the damage, I genuinely enjoyed every single second of driving this thing. This definitely won't be the last time you see the Spartan SR on the channel. One thing I definitely did not expect was how insanely fast the batteries drain in a powerful boat like this. My own two batteries were empty way quicker than I thought, so luckily Mark let me borrow 2 more packs so the fun could continue. There was only one small problem. His batteries use EC5 connectors, while I installed XT90 connectors on my boat. They technically fit, but not exactly in a confidence-inspiring way. The first time the connector came loose, the boat luckily drifted safely to the side, no problem. Lesson learned, or at least that's what I thought. Because the second time it happened, the Spartan stopped completely in the middle of the pond. So at that point there was nothing left to do except continue driving the RC cars and patiently wait for the wind to slowly push my very expensive boat back to shore. And here it is, game over for Mark. At some point during all the chaos, his propeller decided it no longer wanted to be part of the boat anymore. So now the propeller is officially somewhere at the bottom of the pond, probably starting a new life as underwater decoration. For a first attempt with an RC boat, I honestly call this as a success. The Traxxas Spartan SR is absolutely insane, ridiculously fast, and way more fun than I expected. Thanks for watching everyone, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next adventure.